going to die at some point of time in future. And at that point of time, life is going to play a movie on your screen, a movie on how you enacted as an actor. Make sure it's worth watching. You should accomplish or you should do so many things in life that at the end, you should be an being an audience, you should be the greatest admirer of your movie. With that note, let me start. And I know that a lot of people may think that sir is going to be sharing some success tips which we already know. Well, first of all, I will really break your heart because I love breaking hearts. It's a joke. So I would like to tell you that I'm not going to give you successful habits. Rather, I will give you 19 or equivalent to 19 habits, destructive habits that can truly destroy you, that can truly destroy you as a person, that can truly destroy you and your success. Because successful habits we already know. But in the past reports, it has been said that human being is more attracted towards negativity than positivity. So that's why I chose the theme of today's workshop, which is 19 destructive habits that can kill you and your success. And if you are aware of these habits, then definitely you can make a way ahead in your life. So let's see what these 19 destructive habits are. And one by one, I request all of you to write it down. You know why I encourage people to write? Because the thing which you write becomes the reality. The thing which you write becomes the reality. And again, I'm not telling you, it is not from my experience, it is from the experience of Gautam Buddha, Lord Buddha. He used to say that the things which you write becomes your reality. Because every single day you come across thousands of thoughts. And if you do not keep a hold of greatest thoughts, then definitely you end up losing in your life. So please, I request all of you to write down all the 19 habits. And today, if you can take even one habit, even you can rectify one habit, that can truly help you out becoming the conqueror of your life. So let's get ahead and let's start. So the first habit, and this is an awareness session. It's not a session where I will be giving you a knowledge and you going at home and not practicing it. If you do not practice, I cannot guarantee you the results. In fact, nobody can guarantee you the results. So you have to practice. I can only make you aware. The work of the mirror is to make you aware how, what are the kind of changes that you need in your body. So definitely, similarly, I can also act like a mirror today and show you what are the things that you need to perform in your life. So the first destructive habit, the first and foremost destructive habit is the habit of complaining. The habit of complaining. This is the first destructive habit, the habit of complaining. What happens that when we complain, we become a crap magnet. We become a crap magnet. And when you become a magnet, you attract iron pieces. Similarly, when you become a crap magnet, you become you become an attraction for all the negativity in your life. No matter how positive you are, how positive you speak, if you have the habit of complaining, complaining about the things, complaining about people, complaining about the situation, not claiming Ashish, it is complaining, the habit of complaining. When you complain, let me repeat once again, the habit of complaining. So when you complain, what happens? It is the opposite of complan. Complan helps us growing, complaining helps us falling down. Both of them help us, but in the opposite manner. Now you need to choose. Are you going to choose complan or complain? I hope all of you agree with me that definitely we should choose complan and not complain. So when you get into the habit of not complaining, that is when you start becoming successful. Why? Because now you become the powerhouse of positivity. And what happens that when you become powerhouse, people come to you, isn't it? We always look up to powerhouse. Everybody needs energy, but energy can only come when you get out of this habit of complaining. And I'm not saying that I do not complain in my life. Well, I am just bringing the research reports of the great universities and institutes in front of you. It is up to you at the end of the session which one you can start applying from today onwards. And if you apply, definitely you can change, because these are universal laws. Just like sun rises in the east, water always falls down. Similarly, if you get out of these negative destructive habits, then definitely you can get out of complacent zone and step towards success. So that is the first habit which you need to break, that is the habit of complaining. Next one, you know what, let me tell you one thing before going ahead. A lot to cover, and I will try my level best to cover everything. Every single day we go and pray to God. During Navratra, people might have prayed to God a lot. But guess what? Still we do not get the things. Why? Because we keep on complaining. I remember one story. So before going ahead, let me tell you this story. Once a person prayed to God that, God, I need to win a lottery of 1 crore. So please do help me out. He prayed on day one, he didn't get the result. On second day, he again came and prayed to God that, God, please help me out. I am your best disciple. You have to help me out with lottery. He didn't get the lottery. Third, on third day, again this person came and said, God, come on. From last 2 days, I have been requesting you for the lottery and you are not blessing me with anything. If tomorrow you do not give me the lottery, I will not talk to you. On that day as well, he didn't get the lottery. On fourth day, when he came to God, even before he spoke, the God said, God damn you, at least go and purchase the lottery ticket. If you do not have lottery ticket, how are you going to get the lottery? See, this is what we do. We keep on complaining to God, but we never realize our own responsibility. That just like that person did not purchase the lottery ticket and complaining in front of God. Similarly, we do not take necessary action and we complain to God that why is this happening to me? I hope you can agree with me. If you agree, please type A in the chat section. That will really help me out to give more. So if you really agree with me, thank you, Abhijit. So please be active in the chat section. So let's go to the next habit. Second destructive habit. The second destructive habit which you have to break is not being grateful. Not being grateful. Grateful of the things that you have in your life. So the biggest mistake that we do as an individual is that we complain and we are not grateful for the things that we have. And I do not say that being grateful means you have to be satisfied. Of course, you should not be satisfied in your life. Being grateful means start looking into the things that are right in your life so that you get energy. And once you get energy, you can perform well. Think about a situation where you do not have energy. Even if a lion with a lot of courage and commitment doesn't have the energy, then guess what? Even a fox can defeat lion. And you can, do not believe on me, just look into the Discovery Channel and you will be getting thousands of examples. That how lion with a lack of energy can be defeated, the king of the jungle can be defeated by other creature. So if you do not have energy, then how can you perform? Similarly, the energy can come only by being grateful. And again, this is not something which I am telling you. This is something which has been discovered by Albert Einstein, the person who invented the coin, or who coined the term energy. So you know that Albert Einstein was the scientist who invented the term energy. And he says that if people are not grateful for what they have in life, guess what? They are going to get great failures in life. So it is better to be grateful for everything. This is the second habit which you have to do. And according to Mark Twain, who is one of the successful athletes, he says that if every night before going to bed, if you maintain a great gratitude diary means in that diary you have to note down all the best things that happened to you in the day, during the entire day. Well, guess what? You sleep with a sense of positivity. You wake up with a sense of positivity. You attract positivity and you attract abundance. And ultimately, you attract success. So, as I told to you in the beginning, that success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. And it is true. That is why each and everybody should practice gratitude. So, do not fall into the trap where you can think that by complaining about everything you will get positive things. It does not happen. If you put in garbage, you will get garbage out. Similarly, if you put in the gratitude, you will get positivity, you will get success out. So success is the result of all the habits that you develop. Success is not an event. Success is all the habits that you develop over a period of time. So that is the second destructive habit which you need to break in your life. The third destructive habit which you have to break is being satisfied too easily. In our life, we get satisfied too easily, and that is the problem. We waiting for the promotion. Once we get the promotion, we get satisfied. We become complacent and we do not strive to work more. A lot of students do come to improve their communication skills, and once they get the result, they stop. And after a year or two, they again come back complaining about the situations that they have. Now think about it. Why you do not need to complain or criticize the situation. Rather, you need to be an analyzer. You need to be an analyzer of the situation that happens around you. Why does it happen? Why do you get failure? You need to have that ability to understand. And guess what? We are so busy in complaining about the things that we never get the time to think. And according to Mahatma Gandhi, he says that the biggest problem in today's life is people do not think. The biggest challenge in today's era is people do not think. And yes, it is true. People do not think, but people overthink. Do you agree with me? If yes, please write down in the chat section. People do not think, but they overthink. And there is a difference between these two. Overthinking leads to negativity. Thinking leads to positivity, and thinking needs patience, perseverance, and commitment. Thank you so much for agreeing with me. It really means a lot. And again, I am not saying this. Mahatma Gandhi said this. Our past tells us that innovation, creation, disruption, and discovery. Innovation, creation, discovery, and disruption. All these four things happen because of the unsatisfied diligence that we had. Think about Thomas Alva Edison. If he would be satisfied, today we would not have experienced the greatest invention, which is light energy. Think about Wright brothers. If they were satisfied, we cannot imagine going from India to Paris in in a couple of hours. So that is why always do not be complacent and do not feel satisfied. Students come to me and says that, sir, I am not satisfied. I am not satisfied. And I always tell them, it is good that you are not satisfied. That means you have an urge to grow. People who are satisfied, they are already died. Let me repeat once again. People who are satisfied are already died. And this is again something which comes from the famous public speaker, Ron Malhotra. So now let me go to the next point, the fourth destructive habit. So far we have discussed about three destructive habits: the habit of complaining, not being grateful, and being satisfied too easily. The fourth most destructive habit of all is gossiping. Now, please be honest with me, or please be honest in this platform. How many of you do gossip? So please type I in the chat section if you gossip. I used to gossip. I still do gossip. Sometimes when I'm not aware that I am gossiping, but I try to avoid gossip. Because what happens when you gossip, you focus on others. When you do not, you focus on yourself. And just tell me honestly, which is going to, thank you so much, Ashish, for being honest. This honesty really means a lot. So you have to be honest with yourself. In fact, this is also the quality of the successful person. They are honest with themselves. Guess what? We are not honest with our own self. And being an honest, being, it is also my responsibility to being honest with you. So even I also do gossip sometimes. But what I want to tell you that when you gossip, you focus on others. When you do not, you focus on your own self. Now tell me logically, which one is going to lead you towards success? Thinking about others or thinking about yourself? And guess what? When we gossip others, we destroy the most important asset that we have, that is time. And we take time so casually. I can never tell you how valuable is the time. And successful people understand the concept of time leverage. That is why people who work hard, they keep on working hard 8 hours a day, and that is why they have limited wealth. But people who are at the top, they do not work hard. They use the resources and people, they leverage their time, and in the same 8 hours, there are people who are failure and there are people who are billionaire. That 7 hour itself creates the failure and billionaire. There is nothing bad with failure, but you need to understand that definitely there's something wrong. And I am telling you what wrong that thing is, that we do not respect time. And people who do respect time are the people who get the maximum amount of time. So gossiping is something which you need to definitely get out of, but if you want to gossip, at least do it in English. Guess what? It is going to help you with your English speaking skills, isn't it? So if you want to gossip, definitely do, but only in English. But once you learn this language English, after that, stop gossiping. That's it. So do not and never ever engage in the point of gossiping, because it is only going to do one thing, wasting your potential, which leads to wasting of your time. So never ever do this. Instead of gossiping, come and be a part of these kind of workshops that can help you showing who you should be. And that leads me to my next point, the next destructive habit, the fifth destructive habit, which we definitely need to break, and that is being overly sensitive. Being overly sensitive. Let me repeat once again, being overly sensitive. That means being too much emotional. Now, I am somebody who is emotional, but now it is my responsibility to tell you that I have faced a lot of challenges. I still do come across a lot of challenges because of the emotions. In fact, a lot of times I end up wasting my thousands of bucks because at a certain point of time I got emotional, and that's why I do not want that same thing happen to you. Being emotional, it is good, but being emotionally full, it is not good. Let me repeat once again, being emotional is good, but if you are emotional full, it's not good. Second thing, being humble is good. Being simple is good. I'm so sorry. Let me repeat once again. Being simple is good, but being humble so that people overpower you is not good. So definitely you should be emotional. Of course, human being is all about emotions, but you should not get swayed by emotions. That is what I want to describe. In fact, people who are overly sensitive, what happens that they cannot face challenges. They always become complacent. They always complain, criticize, crib, and at the end they go to God and pray God, why is this happening to me? Tell me, can't you understand that God has nothing to do with your success or failure? You cannot ask, God damn it, how can you go to God and ask for success? Who are you? Let me tell you, I'm very blank with all of you today because I want you to understand who are you and why should God be giving you success? Have you done anything? Just go to your parents and ask, Mom or Dad, give me success, or give me at least 1,000 or 2,000 rupees. Even before getting those 1,000 or 2,000 rupees from your parents, you have to prove your worth. Why do you deserve that 1,000 rupees? And when we go to God, what do we say? God gave me this and that. Why do you think that God should be giving that thing to you when you cannot respect your own potential? So it is like we sitting on the mountain of gold and we are looking to God and asking for help, that God, please help me to get down off this hill or mountain because I want to be successful. Now, God cannot do anything. So the objective of God is to just give you the resources and your job is to utilize the resources. Let me repeat once again. The objective of God or the nature, whatever you call it, is to give you the resources. And your job is to utilize the resources. How well you utilize your potential, your resources can define what kind of person are you going to be. And the biggest resource that we have is time. So in short, please do not be very oversensitive. If you are emotional, then definitely it can be a cause of challenge for you in future. Of course, it is very easier said than done, but definitely you need to be aware of. Maybe this one workshop cannot change your life, but at least even that awareness is more than enough. Next time when you find yourself becoming too oversensitive, at least it should be a reminder to you that, okay, let me take a pause for 15 or seconds or 1 minute, think about the situation, analyze it, and then act. Even taking pause for 15 seconds before getting into the emotional zone can truly save you a ton of time and a ton of energy. So now let's go to the next and one more thing before I go ahead. What I want to tell you that it is fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. Heed the lessons of failure means learn the lessons from failure. It is okay to be emotional, but learn the kind of lessons that just because of being emotional fool have created problems for you. And you do not have to go to some Baba or some saint. Everything is inside of you, provided that how much aware you are. That is all about life. And that leads me to my next destructive habit. And the next destructive habit which you definitely need to get out of is not scheduling and prioritizing. Not scheduling and prioritizing. Not scheduling and prioritizing. Very important point. In fact, a lot of times, numerous times, people do come and say that, sir, I want to be a good communicator, I want to be a good speaker, but I do not have time. Tell me, that is it that you need 25 hours or 26 hours, or some miracle is going to happen in your life wherein you are going to get unlimited times for your wealth? It doesn't work like that. It is not about you do not have time. It is about prioritizing. If communication is a priority for you, no matter what happens, you will find out the time. Imagine for a moment that and it's just a fiction, and I do not want to offend anybody, but imagine for a moment that a family member of yours, a very close member, a very close family member of yours is in the hospital. Now tell me, at that point of time too, are you going to say that I do not have time to take care of my family? The situation is going to be the same. You will be in the same job, you will be in the same situation, you will have the same 24 hours. And at that time too, are you going to say that I do not have time to take care of my family? No. Because why are you not going to say? Because it's a priority for you. And guess what? The things which are prior for you, At times, you definitely achieve success in it. Similarly, it's not about whether you do have time or not. It is about how much important, or how much importance you do give, or how much priority you do give to that particular thing. If earning wealth is your priority, then definitely you should work for it. If earning communication, if enhancing communication skill is your priority, then definitely you should weave out the time out of your busy schedule. And I know, because from my personal experience, then definitely if you have the will, you can kill anybody. You can kill your problems. Let me repeat once again. If you have the will, you can kill your problems. But if you do not have the will, you cannot kill your problems. So it is not about your efforts, it is about your willpower. So develop your willpower so that you can have the power to kill your problems. So let me repeat once again. If you have the will, you can kill your problems. Kill your problems, do not kill your challenges. There's a difference between problems and challenges. If problems go out of your life, you feel satisfied. If challenges go out of your life, you end up becoming poor. So that's the difference between problem and challenges. If problems get out of your life, it's really good. But if challenges go out of your life, definitely you are now going to downfall. Now you are moving towards becoming poor, becoming unsuccessful, because challenges change us. So if you consider anything as problem, and you know that by overcoming that problem you can achieve success, so instead of saying that thing as a problem, start addressing it as a challenge. And that's why I always tell to people that do not say that, okay, Anita wants to say, if you have will, you can kill your problems. So if you have challenges, then, so what do I say to my students or people? That please do not say that speaking in English is your problem. If it is your problem, then why do you want to learn English? Tell me logically. If speaking in English is your problem, then people avoid problems. Don't you think? And that is why English does not come to you, because you consider English as a problem. So why does problem come to you? As soon as you consider English as a challenge, challenges always come to you, and challenges change you. Let me repeat once again, challenges change you. So always remove this word, or always migrate this word, or remove this word problem for your dictionary and replace it with challenge. Challenge. And thank you so much, Ms. Shivi, for repeating that statement. So if you have will, you can kill your problems. Do not kill your challenges, kill your problems. Now, the next destructive habit in the list, which you definitely need to overcome, is not have goals. Very important point. I guess this is the most important point of this entire workshop. If there is something which you need to definitely take out of this session today, it is about goals. Now, there are 14 participants, and I know that if I say, and if I ask you that how many of you have goals, I guess all of you may say that, yes, sir, we do have goals. But today, let me shatter your beliefs. These are not your goals. These are just your wishful thinking. Guess what? Goals, in fact, according to Alexander Graham Bell, he says that there are two most important incidents in anybody's life, only two most important incidents. The first incident is when you take birth in this world, and the second day is when you realize why have you taken birth in this world. So when you take your birth, that is the first important thing, first important incident. And why have you taken a birth on this earth? That answer of why determines your goal. For Mahatma Gandhi, his wife why was to make India free. For Thomas Alva Edison, his why was to give humanity the taste of light energy. Tell me, what is your why? For Mother Teresa, her why was to give blessings to all the humanity. And guess what? People who do have a greater why are the people who accomplish maximum. If I ask you honestly, why do you want to become rich? I know 90% of you do not have any rigid answer. And I'm sure because I also do not have the rigid answer. And I'm very frank with you. I'm not lying. Even if you ask me, Arindam, why do you want to become successful? Even I also do not have the rigid answer. And when I will get the answer, for sure, I will tell you. And when I ask this same question to people, why do you want to learn English? People always come with a vague answer that we want to learn English because it will help me with my life, it will help me in promotion. People do speak this language, so that is why I do have to speak this. Now, these are wishful thinking. Do you think that with these small or these basics, being weak, you can speak this language? No, unless your reason is not strong. Let me give you one story. Let me give you one instance. Let me take Mr. Abhijit as a volunteer. So I'm just taking Abhijit as a volunteer. So if I ask Abhijit that Abhijit, you have to fight with, let's say, Pakistanis, 4 Pakistanis. These are terrorists. They have come to your home. There is nobody at your home. So thank you so much, Ashish, for sharing your wisdom. So let's say that there is nobody at your home. The terrorist comes. Guess what? You are going to surrender or you are going to fight against the terrorist. 90% of you are not going to fight against the terrorist. Rather, you will simply surrender yourself to the terrorist because you know that they are very dangerous. Why? Your life is not, isn't it that your life is not important to you? They can kill you, but you do not have the why to save your life. But as soon as that terrorist, Abhijit, tell me honestly, and I do not want to offend you, I'm just giving an example. And I also apply the same example in my life. Abhijit and every single participant in this session, just tell me if the terrorist holds the gun on the head of your mother or one of your family members. If that terrorist holds the gun or holds the pistol on the head of your favorite family member, being it your mother, your father, or your children. Now tell me, what is going to be your response? Are you going to sit and are you going to relax, or are you going to surrender, or are you going to wake up and no matter what is going to happen, you will try to save that person? And I know that, thank you so much, Abhijit is going to fight. And I know that every one of you are going to fight. Why? Don't you think that your life is in danger? Your life is still in danger. But now that why has given you the opportunity to come out of your comfort zone. Now you are not at your comfort zone anymore. Now your why is strong. And when your why is strong, you can do unbeatable things, unimaginable. And speaking in English, it's just a small affair. If you have a very strong why, you can do anything and everything in life. My request that after, thank you so much, Vinay. Vinay is going to kill, Shiva is going to save, definitely, because our why is strong. You do not want to save your life, but you want to save your mother's life, your father's life, because your why is strong now. Now you will not care about the guns and anything. You will simply go and save your parents. And it happens. The love of mother towards their kid, no matter how pain, no matter how much pain the mother has been going through, still the mother ensures that by the end of the day, if she gets hungry, at least her son or her kid does not sleep hungry. Why? Because the why is strong. So if you really need to take one thing out of this session, please take this. Please take this lesson that after this session, try to find out your why. Why do you want to become successful? Why do you want to learn English? Why do you want to even why do you want to even do charity? For the example, if you want to do charity, why? What is that one thing that you will get out of giving charity? Identify your why. When you have why, you can outperform everybody else. And people whose why are strong are the people who never ever who face failure, but they also develop the courage to face failure. Failures are bound to come. They should come. If the failures do not come, then how can you justify your success? But what is your approach and attitude towards failure? That is going to change if you have a clear why. So please work on your why. So that is the next destructive habit that people have. That is, they do not have goals. They do not have why. And I'm not talking about passion. If you have passion, why should you be following that passion? That why is important. Yes. And the next destructive habit, which unfortunately people definitely fall into this trap. In fact, I do also fall into this trap sometimes. It is very difficult to get out of this, but not impossible, is hating on other people's success. Hating on other people's success. Tell me, doesn't it happen that whenever we see people getting success, no matter how much positive we are, how much good we are, still we fall into that trap and we start what? Complaining. That was my first point. We start criticizing, complaining. And when you complain, guess what? You envy success. If you complain about somebody else's success, tell me why success will come to you. Think logically. If you complain about your kid to people, then definitely your kid is going to feel bad, isn't it? Similarly, if you complain about others' success, then success is going to feel bad and success will not come to you. So, what I want to tell you is I still remember and I always tell this story to people that if you run behind the cat is definitely going to run away from you. If you run behind the cat is definitely going to run away from you. But if you have what the cat wants, the cat will come to you. If you do have what the cat wants, the cat will come to you. So if I run behind the cat, definitely the cat is going to run away from me. But imagine that I have a bowl of milk. Don't you think that the cat is going to come to me? Similarly, you do need to have these attributes, these habits. Of course, you have to overcome these destructive habits. And once you start focusing on these small things, you do not go to success. Success come to you. And that is the definition of success. That you cannot go to success. Success has to come to you. If you run behind success, success will run away from you. If you have what the success wants, success will come to you. That's the biggest takeaway out of this workshop. And for sure, if you definitely envy or feel jealous about others' success, 100% it is going to happen that success is never going to come to you. Why? Again, the first point, complain. If you complain, then definitely you cannot grow. Only people who drink Complan can grow. And guess what? Kids never ever complain. Kids never ever feel jealous unless they have taught how to be jealous. Now, let me go to the next destructive habit. So much to offer, so less time, but still let us go. The next destructive habit that all of us possess is spending too much time with spending too much time in an uninspired job. Let me repeat once again, spending too much time in an uninspired job. It's better to light the candle than curse the darkness. Famous quotation by Nelson Mandela. Let me repeat once again. It is better to light candle than cure the darkness. What happens that when we do not feel good about our job, rather than thinking about what's going wrong, we come to a conclusion that just by merely changing our job and getting promotion, we can be successful or we can be happy. We can be, not we are going to. This is the preconceived notion that everybody of us have. And that is why I tell you in the beginning that thinking is the most difficult task these days, according to Mahatma Gandhi. We do not think. And we think that just by changing job, we are going to be successful. Imagine for a moment if Sachin Tendulkar would be satisfied with his job without even realizing his potential, today we would not even be, we would not have heard of his name at all. My question to you is, are you in a job which inspires you or which conspires against you? Let me repeat once again. Are you in a job which inspires you or which conspire against you? Are you in a job where you do feel demotivated, or are you in a job where you feel motivated? Motivated not just because you get money, motivated because you love it. And Brian Tracy, one of the famous and one of the greatest and the best speakers and the highest paid speaker of the world, who charges around $50,000 for a minute, says that a person who has identified what he loves is the person who is successful. A person who has identified what he loves is a person of success. So if you have truly identified what you want in life, you are successful. Very profound statement it is. But if you are in a job which you do not like, then definitely success is for sure not going to come. And initially, I told you that success is not about what you get, it is about how you feel. That was the first thing which I spoke today. So please always try to be in a place where you like, not in a place which does not motivate you. Now, I taking English classes, I taking workshop, it motivates me, it inspires me. That is why I take it. Imagine if I do not enjoy doing it, how is it possible for me to give you this much value? Then I cannot speak from heart. I can only speak from mind. And guess what? Successful people always speak from heart. Employee always speak from mind. Like the people who are not successful, they speak from their mind. Successful people always speak from heart. A research done by HeartMath Institute, which is one of the most privileged institutes throughout the world. Just like we do have IITs for technology, similarly for human intelligence, HeartMath Institute, Carnegie Institutes, these are the foreign universities which keep on doing research just to identify how to enhance the quality of people's life. And they have found in their research that people who do follow their heart are the people who achieve success. And you can take any example and I will show you that. Let talk about Nelson Mandela, talk about Jeff Bezos, the owner of Facebook, CEO of Facebook, and a lot more. You will find this thing in common, that they listen to their heart most than their mind. And guess what? Your heart controls your mind. Your mind does not control your heart. That's why people these days are going through a lot of suicide, and they have been going through a lot of depression. Why? Because they cannot control their heart. And if they cannot control their heart, they cannot control their mind. And what do? They end up taking steps which which not only destroys their life but the life of their loved ones. So always listen to your heart. It will also decrease the chances of heart attack. Why is it that people have been subjected to heart attack these days? Because they do not do what their heart says. They keep on consistently dissatisfying their heart. Imagine you keep on cursing it. And by the way, it is the famous study that if you keep on cursing a tree for continuously 30 days, even the tree will die. And imagine you not following your passion, not listening to your heart, and keep on avoiding what your heart says. Definitely, your heart is also going to die. And no wonder why people are subjected to a lot of heart attack these days. Because, of course, I'm not saying that all of them have this problem, but 80% of the people have this problem. Rest 20%, of course, it is all about what you consume, the kind of food and the kind of health that you maintain. But definitely you should be healthy from heart, but you should be wealthy also from your heart. Listen to your heart, because always remember, your heart controls your mind, not your mind controls your heart. And the last destructive habit, I have also a lot of habits to share, but as the time is limited, so let me share the last destructive habit of the day, and then the poll is going to open for Q&A. The last destructive habit that definitely you should avoid is the need for ease. The need for ease. Do not expect anything or everything to be easy in your life. Again, easier said than done. It becomes really challenging for me as well. But still, it is what the research says, that the path of most resistance brings you the success. The most beautiful destinations are always the most beautiful destinations always follow the most treacherous path, difficult path in the mountain. That's why people do want to spend their vacations in the mountain. Why? Because they have to go through treacherous path. They have to go through the challenges, and then only they can experience the beauty of the nature. So even the nature teaches us that the most difficult things, the most difficult path leads you to leads you to the best destination. And guess what? In our life, we always expect things to be easy. And I'm so sorry to defend you, but things are not supposed to be easy. And why should it be easy? Imagine for a moment that if the things are easy, don't you think that then everybody would be successful? And if everybody gets success, then why should people be running behind success? The life will be mundane. So things should definitely not be easy. Because if it is easy, it will be greasy. Greasy means things without zero taste. So never ever fall into the trap of getting things easy. Rather, fight for it, work for it, because as I said, be a person, because every single human being has to go through death. Make sure that when you are at your deathbed, your the movie of your life is worth watching. The movie of your life is something that does not end with you. It should be a source of inspiration for people, not a warning for people. So your life can either be a warning for people or a source of inspiration for people. You have to decide what you want it to be. A warning for people that do not become like that person, or an inspiration for people that become like that person. It is completely up to you. So on that note, before concluding, I would like to speak one of my favorite quotations, and I truly love to speak it out. I would like to tell it is, success is how high you bounce when you hit the bottom. Success is definitely, all of us are going to hit the bottom, but success is how high you bounce when you hit the bottom. And success is not an event, it is all about following some habits, because as the Robert Frost, one of the greatest authors in the history, says, and all of us have read his poem, The Road Not Taken. I am 100% sure that all of you have gone through his poem, The Road Not Taken. Maybe you do not remember, but in class 7, everybody has gone through this poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And definitely, every one of you, I highly recommend you should definitely read this poem. And the poem says that two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the road less traveled, and that has made all the difference. Let me repeat once again. Two roads diverged in a wood. That means I reached at a point where there were two roads, and I took the road less traveled. Means road which people usually do not take. Road which was not easy. Road which people avoid. And guess what? That made all the difference. And that's why today I am successful. So thank you so much, everyone. You gave me your precious 1 hour. We started at 7:35. It's almost 8:31. And you still, your presence throughout the session and your active participation shows that you are definitely not a person who is going to settle and take your step back, but rather you want to become a warrior and strive for success. So now the chat section is, I'm so sorry. Now, along with chat, you can also unmute your audio. And if you have anything to ask, if you would like to share anything, if you would like to share your experience of this session, you can please put forward your ideas. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Thank you so much, Ashish, for this wonderful comment. Now, if anybody has any question, see, in the beginning, I told you it is not about the winning, it is about the beginning. So just unmute your audio. Do not hold yourself back. If you have to say anything, now it's the time. You can unmute and just speak it out. So thank you so much, Miss Priya, for this wonderful comment. And if you have anything to ask, if you would like to share your experience or anything, you can do it. So,
sir, I have one question, sir.
yeah, Mr. Ravi. Yeah, please ask. Please tell me.
Only one question. Coming to point, sir, mind controls heart or heart control mind, sir?
Yes, very relevant question. So mind does not control heart. Your heart controls your mind. Your heart controls your mind. So Mr. Ravi, your heart controls
Okay.
your mind.
Okay, sir.
So you want to learn English? Why? Because it is your passion, and passion does not come from your mind. Passion always comes from your heart. Because your mind is going to say, huh, why do you need to learn English? Without English, your life is also well. You are at such a higher position. You have attained the age of 35 or 40. Now it is not the right time to learn English. So please, it's better to avoid learning English, learn some technical skills and grow in life. Why to learning? This is how your mind is going to defend. But guess what? The intelligent heart always says that, okay, cool down, calm down. Everything is necessary, but speaking in English, communicating well, following your passion is also necessary. So just do it. And that is why all of us, all the 13 participants are gathered here today. Your mind may have said it that, okay, just go and relax, watch some Netflix. But still, you have come, you have attended the session. Why? Because your heart said, okay, let's just go and listen to what Arindam has to offer. So heart is more intelligent than your mind. So I hope, Ravi, that answers your question. And thank you so much, Anita and Amit, for your wonderful compliments. It really means a lot. So
Thank you, sir.
most welcome, Ravi. And if you have anything to ask, yeah, any person, you can raise your hand or you can simply unmute your audio. Okay, I hope still, if you have anything to ask, you can simply unmute your audio and you can ask. Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you so much. And yes, before concluding the session, I would like to call upon Miss Anita because whatever I have told to you, somehow I have discovered these things in Anita, Miss Anita as well. So I would really like to call upon Miss Anita and ask her how's her experience. Yes, Anita ma'am. So how's your experience? Can you just share with all of us? Okay, I guess some network issue is there. Anyway, so thank you so much. Before concluding the session, what I want to tell to all of you that please do not like me. I do not want you to like me. I want you to follow at least one step that I have told to you today. If you do it, that is more than enough for me. I do not want you to like me. Let me be very honest. And it is very, I recommend, highly recommend all of you do not be likable. Because if you are likable, people will take you casually. Let me repeat once again. People like Joker, but don't you feel that people take Joker very casually? Be trustable. Be somebody who takes action. So do not like me, rather take the actions, the steps which I have told you. If you do that, and if you get the result, just tell me and I would be more than happy. So yes, Mr. Ashish, would you like to ask something? Would you like to say something?
Sir, all the topic, all the points you have touched here, all the topics were relevant, equally relevant. So, will you point out how can we prioritize it one by one?
How we can prioritize?
So, yes, because I think it's not possible to apply whole topics in a way. So, which one we can? How can we prioritize all?
Wonderful question. So Mr. Ashish says that, sir, you have pointed out this one destructive habit
Yes.
that is we do not prioritize. How do you prioritize? The best way to do it is that maintain a goal diary. I cannot show you my goal diary right now because it's kept somewhere, but some days I'll definitely show to you. In that goal diary, see, every single diary has one name. There definitely has to be one name. Just like you are Ashish, Ravi, Miss Madhu, Kashvi, Pradeep, and every single person. You have your name, you have your identity. Similarly, your goals also need to have identity. Imagine you are
Yes.
trying to chase something which does not have any shape. Guess what? You will not.
Yes.
It is like you want to reach somewhere, but you do not know where. Such a sheer waste of human potential. To prioritize, what I suggest all of you to do, that before going to bed, in my second point, I talked about gratitude journal. To have a
Yes.
diary, and before you go to bed, just write down what went good in your life, not what went wrong. What went good in your day to day. And with
Yes.
on that positive note, write down all the necessary work that you have to do tomorrow. Tomorrow
You
means
mean to say what resources we have to work on, we have to utilize to make our potential best.
absolutely resources and people. If you
Yes.
have the ability to utilize the resources and people, means the relationship around you,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
definitely,
They are also our precious resources. Yeah,
absolutely,
people. Yes.
they are the
Yes, I
resource.
got it.
So network is your
Yes.
network. People do say network is your network. So if you
Yes.
let's imagine that, God forbid, if you lose a job today, and if you do not know anybody, if you do not have any friends, maybe in future you can get your job, but before that you
Yeah.
have to go through a lot of struggle. But
Yeah.
imagine if you know 10 people, so at least even after losing your job, you can connect with those 10 people and they may help you getting a job faster. And maybe,
Absolutely. Sir.
so that is why relationships are very important, in fact, more important than money. Because relationships can bring you so many things that you can never imagine.
Absolutely.
Relationship, your relationship with your own self and your relationship with people. And maintain this gratitude, this journal diary. Write down before going to bed, write down all the positive things that happened to you
Yes,
today.
sir.
And keeping that positive thing in mind, write down all the work that you have to do the following day. And one suggestion is that read this book called Eat That Frog. Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. If you really want to learn how to prioritize your work, because
Yes.
it itself is a topic, and a lot can be spoken on this. But
Yes.
for the time being, I do suggest you to go with this book that is called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It can literally help you a lot.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ashish. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ashish. And thank you so much, everyone, for your wonderful participation. And